Told you that the studio was going to be bigger than ever. 3 stages in one building. Now we just brought the 6th Street Bridge in here. Finest Creations. They are a model car club. The bridge is in here. Lowriders galore going up and down. I don't see any cops. I don't see anybody banning this boulevard. We're going to get into it deep, but on a different scale. And here we go. What's happening, everybody? I am Joe Ray, and this is the Wired Down Show. We always have special guests. That's how I start things off, introducing the 2 special guests here. But told you that the studio was going to be bigger than ever. 3 stages in one building. How we just brought the 6th Street Bridge in here. Finest Creations. They are a model car club. The bridge is in here. Lowriders galore going up and down. I don't see any cops. I don't see anybody banning this boulevard. We're going to get into it deep, but on a different scale. And here we go. First of all, Spanks, introduce yourself to the Lowrider fan base.
I'm Spanks. I'm from Montebello. You know, spent a lot of time in East LA, my grandma's house.
You talk more like you're from East LA than Montebello, though.
Yeah.
I get that accent. I love it, though.
I spent a lot of time in East LA. My grandma, my uncles, cousins, they all lived
All
out
from there?
Yeah.
Still looks the same.
And I'm Victor from Finest Creations, and I stay in Boyle Heights, down the street from the 6th Street Bridge.
Boyle Heights, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. 3 favorite cities. Boyle Heights,
Yeah.
East LA, and then Montebello. And all stops right there, right?
Yeah.
All my best memories do. You guys grew up in those neighborhoods then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the influence, it was all there. You guys grew up into it, huh?
Since a kid, you know, at my grandma's house, she used to live between Whittier and 3rd Street on Rowan. And we would spend weekends, every weekend was out there, you know, and we always just seen everybody low riding. It's just something you've seen a lot out there, you know. Her neighbors were from Just for Looks, so they had little mini trucks, and I would see them hang out all the time. And it was always, it just lowriders everywhere out there, you know what I mean? It's just, you grow up around it. You know, my uncles had some cars, and just, you get used to it.
I see you did, because you got almost every year make and model up here, including mini trucks, few bombs. This is fantastic. How long has the club been going on now?
I think it's going about 10 years.
Something like that.
Yeah.
About 10 years.
Before this even happened, this is a hobby we all grow up with. There comes a time in life you got to park your Stingray or your lowrider bike in the garage. You got to come in, and you're told to do your homework, but you close the room door and you jump over there and you bring out the glue and you start building model cars until way late night. Make sure your parents are asleep and they can't hear you, right? We all grew up like that. We all went through model cars. Most of us did. To be in this culture now, how old were you guys when you started building model cars like this?
I remember my first model car started in middle school. It was an after-school program, and they would buy model cars and they would let us build them. And that's basically where the seed started. After that, it was just, you know, you get a hold of the Lowrider bicycle magazine back in the day, and that's where you would see all the older heads that would build model cars back in the day in the 90s, 80s, you know.
Same thing here, you know what I mean? Just, you know, you see the model kits at the store, you know, you're a little kid, you want to build something, you know?
Most of my conversations that I have with certain guests, we always go back into the cars. What's your first influence? How have things changed then and now? The paint has changed, the interior styling has changed. The cars are more expensive now to build. Is it the same way going into this scale now? Things have changed for you guys. You want to talk about 10 years, you were building before that. It's changed a whole lot now. I mean, the competition is deep.
It's crazy because just like how you said that everything changed, got more expensive. Same thing here. Everybody's trying to use House of Color candies. You know, everybody's trying to use carpet. I mean, that's what everybody uses, car paint. You know what I mean?
And before, it was customary to scratch build a lot of your parts, your pumps, your batteries, your extra little things you wanted, your dumps. Nowadays, with 3D printing, that has blown out all the scratch building. It's out the door because it's easier to just buy the parts. You don't have to waste time, take your time to scratch build a pump anymore. You buy 10 of them at once.
Even wheels, you got guys 3D printing rims, and of course the more detail they can get into it, it's gonna cost more. You know, and that's
It's almost like it's not fair when it's even today with the cars today, what you got to go up against, including the other industries out there, like the hot rod muscle car guys. It's unfair. The machines that they have that they can build, how they, if they're already semi-retired, they put all their employees to build a car for them, and it's the latest Riddler winner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, things have changed. If I go back 30 years ago, Armando Avila, if you guys have heard of or know who he is,
Yes.
when we were building model cars and we left that and we jumped into the real deal, that was fun. And you just take that into a bigger technique, right? Or ideas or imagination is what we do. But Armando Avila broke out with my Las Vegas car and he wanted me to see that. And then I expected something totally different. When he brought it up and put it down there, I wanted to take it away from him. I wanted to steal it. It's my car. Let me have it. What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
You made my car. It's not yours. It belongs to me, more or less. I would appreciate it more. Can I go and take it home and leave it there for a while and we could all look at it, right? But you couldn't. And it meant everything to him. It was something special. And then I took that in the way he guarded it, picked it up, and put it down in front of me. I just wanted to grab it and say, okay, I'll catch you later. But he did everything by hand, mostly.
Even
And it was, I had to look in there and say, how in the heck? I remember days when I was bunny ears were paper clips. And I just could not imagine all the work that he had put into this car and for what and how long it took. He told me and everything. And I thought, man, you are crazy. There's no one and there will never be anyone like you. Well, a couple years later, people must have latched on and saw that and they went after him. And then the bills became even better than that. Then they're unimaginable what they used to do 2-3 years even after that. And we're going back into pre-2000, 2000,
Yeah.
25 years ago. And you could see the whole industry was changing.
Yeah.
And then you guys started to get into it more or less, what, in 210?
Yeah, like 215, something like that.
It got big. It got strong at
Yeah,
2010.
I think when the 3D printed wheels started coming out, it kind of like blew it up a little bit because it gave you more options. Before you just had the straight spokes, gold or chrome. Now you got crosslays, you got endless amounts of rims now. But yeah, with the 3D printing, that started a big wave of guys building model cars.
I don't want to jump ahead too much, but the 6th Street Bridge. Whittier Boulevard's a lot easier to build because you just got a road. Boulevard, I mean, there's stores there. You see that stuff with the RC cars and they're building stuff like that. And then you just have the arches, but this is pretty cool what you guys did. You came up with double lanes and you got about 25, 30 cars up here with a few of them that you're still building down here, but you got Rivieras, 53s, glass houses, 70s I can see, 61s. The bombs are out here. A lot of the Elegance and Cabriolet Cadillacs, 65s. I mean, that's cool. That's so badass.
Try to touch a little bit of everything.
Nobody's pulled over here. Everybody's having a good time the way it should be. What is it like for you guys to start this club up like that? How many members are in your club?
Well, we started with 3 and we're 4 now.
You have 4?
Yeah. So we haven't gotten that big, but
you can't. Well, everybody's got to be a builder. You have to be very creative.
Exactly.
And you have to have a lot of patience.
Yes.
It's almost, well, car clubs today, even the top car clubs today, not everybody could build that car.
Right.
But in your club, you have to build that model car all the time. You're constantly just thinking of who's next or who the standard, the bar is always lifted all the time, right?
Of
There's
course.
somebody out of nowhere, or even across the country. Other countries come out and they build. Who are the top builders right now?
You got a guy out there in Texas.
Yeah, right now there's
some guys out there in Texas that
that are
putting
doing.
it down.
Yeah,
Legendary
you know,
Miniatures. He's one of them.
he's one of them.
I think he's doing a replica of the Vegas. He's doing another version.
Another version.
He's trying to make it like is looking pretty good. But yeah, he's pretty. He's one of the ones that is doing a lot right now. You know, there's a couple guys in Japan that also push their weight. It's the hobby's like worldwide. So you got fools in Japan and
Yep.
Australia,
Up north,
Yeah.
San Francisco, Bay
you
Area.
know, and we all kind of know each other. You know, the hobby's not that big, but we all know each other, which is cool.
You
You know?
guys all network together on,
What-
on emails and different
That
things
was
like
what's
that.
cool with Instagram and Facebook, because it connects us to people that are like us, that like to kill a day building a model car, because not everybody wants to sit down and build cars. I tried getting my friends to build model cars. Get that shit out of here. I don't have patience for it. I can't sit
Takes
down.
time. Takes
So,
time.
Being able to connect with people all over the world that like doing what we do is cool. But you know, they're out there. So
Well, there's no real magazine for it. There's really no. There are a few car shows
yes.
that allow model cars, but there's not that many categories broken down for them. It's like the early days of the Lowriders.
Right.
When we went to car shows, we had to go to the hot rod or roadster shows and compete there. And they let in a few of us. It was the biggest thing of our lives. But the categories for the lowriders, we weren't going to compete with them with paint. How dare you have a lowrider beat us in paint? It wasn't going to happen then. It wasn't going to happen then because they had some badass paint jobs. Just don't rub it in our face, and we won't duplicate or actually even have better paint jobs than the ones back then. And that's who we're about now, right?
Yeah.
But the competition's out there. It's hard to go out there and see it all the time when you have to see it online or at a show, and you can't see all these builders all the time. Do they travel? Do they come out to certain events?
Yes, there's those guys out there that are traveling all the time. There's this guy, Wes Salazar. I see him going to the shows all over the U.S. He's all the time.
So those guys that travel.
Yeah.
There's a guy that comes from where is he? He's from the bike club. He's from the islands.
Guam.
Guam. He's from
Okay.
Guam, you know, and he flies out here to show he has a lowrider bike and some model. So he'll fly out here, you know, for shows. So there's people that travel. We sometimes once a year we used to go up north to a show. You
But
know, and it was a big
There's
show.
no congregation of all of you guys getting together to going to one event.
That was the show. The
That
one that
was
was
it.
up north. We went with a couple other clubs together. We got a room in the same place, and
But it's one of those shows where like they have tanks, military. It's not just lowrider
yeah, it's
cars.
not just low right.
Lowrider cars is like the small section of
They
that.
put you way in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that.
And the show, I think it was
Welcome to
last
the
year.
world.
It ended. So.
Lowriding. And then the categories are different, of course,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know.
One cat.
It's hard to grow when it's like that, and there's not enough shows paying attention to it. This show will help that. I'm sure we'll change things around. But your other competition, all of a sudden, like trends, come and go. We'll find out if it does. Is the other scale called RC cars,
Right.
and those little things get a little bit expensive too. What's the difference between if you guys are going to call it old school now with the model cars, the new school, or the newer generation? It's the RC cars. What's the difference?
I feel that. I
Go ahead.
feel
It's good to say it.
I feel it's just a big difference. Like RCs, like for model cars, you got to do everything yourself. You're gonna have to cut the doors. Everything's mostly scratch built. Where like RCs,
You could only take it so far because of the mechanics inside.
yeah,
You can't really add so much detail like in the interiors, like how some of these have, because
It's like built, not bought. The difference between the two.
well, most of those parts are already
Are 3D printed.
pre-manufactured.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the pumps
not
already
bought.
3D printed with the dumps, and it's already plumbed up. Like
The same. And you
But
see
right
the,
here it's small. You gotta drill the holes in the pump and then plumb it yourself, and it's just, it's just more. To me, it's
it,
more work.
and it's a totally different way of even painting it because that's a different plastic. It's clear. So the way those guys paint it is kind of reversed. They paint it through the inside. These we had to paint them basically kind of like a real car where we sand it, we primer it, we paint it.
It's just those cars have more 3D printed parts. Everyone uses 3D printed parts.
You almost have to be a surgeon, operating on something delicate to build a scale of a car this way than you do on something that's a lot bigger like an RC car.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I mean, they are popular because now you got them making all the little noises, hop, and it's fun upgrading them and all of that. Has it taken away from the
Oh,
old
yeah.
school?
It
Has
took-
it hurt it a little bit, the model cars?
Yeah, I think you have the diehards that are still building model cars, even though there's not as many shows. Because for a little while we had a bunch of shows out there right before COVID. There was shows, barbecues. We're busy the whole year. Now I think there's a few shows out there you don't even hear about them anymore. But there's a whole bunch of RC shows. Every lowrider show has an RC show now.
Little kids see this and an RC.
That's hopping
They
around.
get to play with it, yeah,
They get
because
to play
everything
with
they play games.
So
on.
they got into that, you know.
And then the dads got into it because it's an expensive hobby.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that cheap. So
Comparing the two hobbies together, though, from where you guys have come 10, 15 years ago to about right now, how much time does it take to build the car that you guys built?
Oh man,
it depends on a lot of things. How detailed do you want to do it? Do you want to open up the doors? Do you want to detail the interior? Do you want to detail the undercarriage? Do you want to
that
slam
red
it?
car took me 2 weeks nonstop. Wake up in the morning, work on it, and then go to sleep working on it. 2 weeks nonstop. I have to build the interior from scratch. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time on something so small.
A lot of money.
You start getting into a lot of money, yeah, because you start putting in the paint itself. You got to buy House of Color paint, and then you start getting into like the rims. With people 3D print rims, they're like $70-$80 for the wheels. And you start getting into small photo etch parts, aluminum parts. It starts getting expensive.
You guys are buying quarts of candies, and you just have them all on the shelf. Whatever you do, you mix your own colors.
Well, we go to Coast Airbrush and we get the little ounces.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I didn't know
we don't
they
need
made
that
them in
much.
that.
Yeah.
But you still pay about what a quart costs, though, right? Because that place is a little expensive. It only looks good for a reason, right?
Yeah, I mean,
25, 30, 40 bucks depending on the color for
Really?
a little bottle,
And all with a compressor, you guys are just spraying along and
pretty
Like,
much.
and
Yeah,
tape
you
and
gotta
all
cut
of
your
that,
own
right?
tape lines because the lines are so thin. You gotta get a tape and a ruler with a razor blade and then cut your lines thin enough. It takes time.
I've noticed, and it's innocent, the Boulevard here. It's like, man, it's like those times when you're out there in sports and you have a football game and it's just the right teams, no one's bothering you. This could be a great game, even basketball. When you're a young kid growing up and all of that, for me, I'm always going to be a young kid because low riding, that's what it's about, right? Adult toys. But looking at this whole scene, when I have to explain to people what Whittier Boulevard was like, it was a little dangerous sometimes, and sometimes it wasn't. And then it was a good night, right? But looking at this whole little scene right here, if you just actually put yourself in there, this is us, man. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is like almost like heaven. There's no problems. There's no jealousies. There's no greediness. There's nobody flashing any gang signs. No car clubs jumping out of cars, the bumper jack of cars.
That's not Whittier Boulevard.
No, I know.
That's
But
the
I
next.
mean,
That's the
this
next.
is the way it's supposed to be, nice and innocent, man.
That's
The paint jobs on these cars are incredible too, man. That Jeep body right there, the Cutlass with the Hollywood top's badass. So, where do you guys see model cars going into the future?
I think just like anything, right? It goes through its ups and downs.
Yeah.
And it's how it is,
Gotta
And
try to keep it alive a little bit though, you know. We try to go out there to shows, try to support other model car builders. Cause I think for a while it's been a dying hobby. But you know, there's a couple people out there that keep it going, little by little.
And they're making pretty much all the makes and models now.
no,
No.
there's your
You
car,
have
you
to
can't
adapt.
find it.
You have to
Yeah.
take it off of a Thunderbird.
You gotta get a Thunderbird and then
To
start
build a
doing all the
Lincoln?
body work.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? So
And those are some of those are either casted or 3D printed as well, because they don't have every model from the companies.
And they keep them down to the same scale though when they're 3D printed, or they're a little bit bigger.
For the most part, yeah, we have a couple.
Gotta
We
keep
have some
'em right.
3D printed ones.
Because I see that the 74 Caprice, the glass house out there. You got some Cadillac 63, 64 Caddies. And I mean, they actually make the big body Cadillac.
No, that's a casted one. That's a resin one, I think. Yeah. So that's
that you can't
somebody.
find that. You're gonna have to find someone that makes it, cast it himself.
So that
How
was
much do they cost?
depending on the car itself.
On
We
the-
go
About $100, $80, depending on the make.
There's some that are on the box in the like the Revel kits that are really old, the 200, 300, 400, because it's in the box and everything. But yeah, those are getting up
So
there.
some of them are hard, like that 74. You're not gonna find that. You're gonna have to come out like $300-400 just to buy that kit.
And like the 77, the Cadillac, the yellow one here,
Yeah.
that's a promo kit because you can't find that as a model.
Oh, I just noticed that because I see you got 80s in here.
Yeah.
And then you have the Cabriolet, the little convertible top.
Yes.
Where does that come from? Is that handmade or?
Yeah,
3D printed. The
3D
top
printed.
itself.
the top is 3D printed, but you cut the roof off of a regular.
Station wagons too?
Yeah.
Yep.
3D
People-
printed.
Those no.
Oh, that one they make, I think.
Yeah, some guy Juan for you made that station wagon. The other one is actually from the company itself, so they make some of them. But
What keeps you guys going through the ups and downs? The challenges, the builders that are out there. Somebody's building something that's going to set the standards, going to lift the bar again. You guys go after them. You see their ideas. You have better ideas. You try not to share them, or what do you do?
You have people like that. You have people that don't like sharing ideas.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to share nothing. Don't want to tell you where they got their chrome at. You know.
Yeah.
But
you also have a lot of people that they're an open book. You hit them
Yeah.
up, no problem. They hit you back up right away.
me, I like posting. I like posting the process. A lot of people don't. You don't know what they're building till the end when it's already done. I like showing what I did and how I did it. Maybe someone can learn from it. And
How is this exactly? Would this hobby ever grow if some of the guys, because every now and then when you come out with a top car, you're the teacher now. You're no longer the student. You're only a teacher for a little while until that student comes up. Now he's teaching you. That's the way it works in the world, right?
Right.
But I mean, how do you expect your world to continue to grow? when they won't let go of their experiences and their skills and all that, and they hold on to it and take it with them. It's like it's selfish, greedy, jealous for somebody to beat them. I mean, it's not a level playing field, but at the same time, I can understand why, they thought of this and they want to keep it to their own. It doesn't matter with social media today now.
Yeah.
Anything you build is not going to be a secret. The picture or the word will get out.
Yeah, I mean, you could ask your phone anything and it'll pretty much give you the answer. So there's not really that many secrets left out there, but you got the people that still act like that.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
but as far as in like trying to progress the hobby, I think it's through inspiration, trying to inspire somebody else, some of the little kids. We go to shows without even there being a competition or a contest to give away awards. We like to go and show, and we get a lot of people kind of how like you were looking at it right now. They say, oh shit, this and that. They trip out. They even trip out on the bridge. Oh man, you have the fence just like how it is. Because we had construction workers that worked on the bridge when it was being built, and then oh shit, it looks just like it. This and that. So I think that's the way to push the hobby, is inspire the next generation to try to build as well, because they're the ones that are gotta pick up the trophy.
and most people that want to learn, they'll ask you, So you gotta, to me, you gotta show them.
And you gotta be welcoming to that next generation, because a lot of them don't know. anything, and they're gonna ask questions.
Are there a lot of model car clubs out there
There's a few out there. There's a few out there.
that are well known, have been around for a while?
Yeah, you got
Name them.
table scrapers up north. You got
Table scrapers.
table scraper. I love that name.
Yeah, I
Table
like that
scraper.
name too.
You got the
Down
guys
to
in
scale.
down to scale masterpieces.
Yeah.
So many ways.
Yeah.
In Texas, you got
The underground
the
kings.
Underground Kings.
You know.
Yeah, so
There's not that many, but there's a few. There's a few. But the ones that that are the biggest ones is gonna be down to scale and MCBA.
oh,
You
that's
know? They're the ones that you see at the show the most,
Yeah.
most, you know.
and all those guys have been here before us. Those
Yeah.
all of those clubs have been here before. We're the new booties.
So
out
watching them build and see that, learn from,
Learning from them.
you learn from everybody. Sometimes you grab something and you might be better at it, you know. I mean, turn around and teach them something, you know. But the sharing part, I think, has a lot to do with it to keep any hobby going, you know. You start getting greedy and not wanting to share how you did something. I mean, it's cool, you know.
It's unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, like
It's the same thing if you expect to win a trophy up there, first place, and you get second. It's how you act about it, because there's always going to be second place. I don't care if it's the loser. The kids are all watching. Everybody's watching. You know, if you lose, okay, it'll make you a winner one day. You take that little walk, think about it, and you come back and you know what happened and what you have to do. What drives you guys to continue doing this? I know there comes a point that you go in and it's just too far to turn back with all the money spent and all the good times, all the time. And I'm sure you guys help out each other with each of your builds. You go hide away somewhere in your house, you start building, but this is where I'm at now. What about you? Let me help you do this. Maybe you're better at paint. I don't know. Is that how it works sometimes?
Yeah, yeah. He showed me everything I know about painting. He knows. He's a very good painter, and I learned everything from him. So
And before he showed you, he told you had to join the club?
basically, he said I had to build a couple cars.
But seriously, what drives you guys? Because there's no real shows out there. So is it the trophy? Is it the recognition at a show that you win in front of some of your peers, or you have an audience there? Is it the show that it might have categories? I know they're not out there that much. What drives you guys to continue trying to be the best at what you do?
Well, to begin with, there's not that many shows out there,
Yeah.
and to say that we don't do it for the trophies would be lying, because it does feel good to get recognized for the work you put in. Because some of them, you know, it takes a while, 6-7 months to build one. So it does feel good to get recognized, but I don't think that's the all that we're looking for is recognition. It's also part of the getting to hang around with other guys that build model cars, because we're not always hanging around with everybody. So it's cool, kind of like the real shows. You get to hang out with the buddies, you know, and talk model cars.
for me, it was just I just since a kid always like lowriders, the paints, and you see me here staring at your paints and just staring at them, and so my mind starts running with ideas, and I need to I need to put it down on something. Trophies, I don't care. I know some people do it for the fame. Well, some people do it for the fame. I don't. I is to me it's just
It's
it's
the
my
process.
hobby.
It's fun.
It's my hobby. It's like drawing. I love drawing, and it just whatever I feel like doing.
You
Sometimes
can
the
draw. You
expression.
can draw too, or
I can draw
Yeah, yeah.
too. So
badass artist. Huh?
you know,
Yeah,
I,
You should see some of the stuff he posts up on his Instagram where he does with chalk at his job.
I like drawing a lot, you know, and just man, just
At the end of the even, it's nice to win the competition. It's fun, but then after a while, after if you've won or you don't win, at the end of the day, the real judges you'll notice are the people that walk up and they don't just glance; they stop there and stare. Wow, how long did it take you to? Where did you get this color? Oh, this is amazing! And they tell, man, I want to build. Here's my car right now. Oh, and they look at you and for inspiration, they just got it. they're inspired, and they're going to keep a conversation with you going for about a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, so they come around again. I think that's everything. Then somebody running around a little clipboard giving you his opinion, who he thinks and what he thinks when he has no idea what it took to build that, right?
Mhm.
For you guys, I mean, getting involved in something like that, is it your peers? Like somebody will tell me, Joe, the 10 guys that come up to you and tell you that your car's badass compared to 10,000 people that come up and tell you they're badass, which is more important? And sometimes it is your peers, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, and you hope to God, not like some car builders or other people out there just come up and just tell you, oh, you know, oh yeah, that's a badass car. Yeah, oh, I like it. I like it. And they walk off, and then they just, in their mind, they're thinking you can't do that shit because they don't have the tools you have. They don't have the money you have,
Yeah.
but they have a bigger heart than you have. And you can never walk away and look at somebody and tell them right there, no, this is bad. You take for what they put into it, and this is all they could do. And you know what? We all go through stages. And you guys have to too, where your build looks like this, then you graduate and it's a better build the next time,
Yes.
and the better the next time. If it takes longer, it takes longer.
Right.
But I think, and that's with all competition out there. But if that's what you guys have to be doing this for and keeping it alive, is not only just for the recognition, it's for the pat on the back, especially the kids to look at this. And then the way things are in your world, it's like Chicago, Indiana, you know, there's no lowrider shows out there. They're trying to keep it alive out there. New York is right now.
Well,
And all they've got is drastic out there. The Yankees are failing. But I mean, that's all they've got to survive. And they don't have Lowrider magazine or a show sometimes. And you guys have to do this on your own right now. You got to keep this alive. Doing not just building a car, but building a scenery with multiple cars helps do that. And I hope this show does take us there. If how long do you guys see yourselves continuing with this hobby? Do you ever really get too old to do it?
no.
Do you start to become a little bit embarrassed by it? Because I'll tell you right now, there's no way in hell I was going to be 26 years old and building a lowrider. That's for younger guys that think they're single or whatever. I was never going to do that. Now look at me now. I still think I'm 25, right?
Right.
Is there a certain time you guys, are you afraid of that ever happening to you guys, that you won't build model cars no more? Hey, the time came I had to get married and support a family. I was playing with GI Joes, and I knew that I only got a year or two left. We got 14, 15. I could be married possibly by then. The toys are going to go away. Do you guys ever see these toys going away?
They might shrink down. The volume might shrink down a little, but I don't think they will ever go away.
Yeah. Slow
like I said,
down.
I've been doing this as a kid, and it's more of a therapy than just a
good.
hobby. You know.
Yeah. It's just more good therapy, like you said. Zone out on it. You know what I mean? Nothing else matters at that moment when you're building, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
You're just focused.
I've seen guys build well into their older age, so I think as long as our eyesight is good and our
My hand ain't too
arthritis ain't
shaky.
too bad, you know?
You guys are going to always acquire the skill
Yeah.
and the techniques. You'll eventually learn whether somebody gives up their secrets or not.
Right.
But good guys that you are right now, you'll find out maybe one day those other builders that are out there and think they're just too good for everybody else, maybe they need to build themselves a humble pie. Eventually, with that guy upstairs, they'll be looking down at you, asking you one day, how do I get chrome? Where do you get your chrome at? They'll come to you, because we're all in this together. And I've always said that, whether you win or you lose, or no matter what you build, we're never going to go nowhere. We're going to fight and hold each other down. If we're going to win, we all have to play as a team.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any shout outs that you like to give out there? Anybody that you go back on and look back that were your mentors?
Well, I would like to shout out the guys from Down to Scale. They helped us build the bridge too.
Oh, cool.
You know, it was a group effort, and they've always been real cool with us.
Yeah,
they've
Down
been
to
around
Scale's
for a
always
while.
been cool. You know, they've been around for a long time.
See, that's what it's about.
Yeah, and those guys are always welcoming. We go to their Christmas shows. They have like a club Christmas party.
Invite us to sit down with them.
Yeah,
So they've always been cool.
Yeah, they're real cool
No.
people. Everybody is. You know, you got a couple heads out there that
That
what
are,
it is.
but
That's
that's anywhere.
That's what
You
they
know
do
what I
in
mean?
life, you know. But everybody in the hobby is.
There's so many ways.
But those guys, they'll make you stronger, better. Believe me, I've been through it a lot of times too.
Yeah,
It gives you more strength and more energy to come right back. And there ain't nothing like that feeling. The hell with a trophy. Just look at them now.
Exactly.
That's all it is. What about you? Who would be your mentors?
a little bit of everybody. Everybody.
And who are they?
literally,
Pancho.
Pancho, man.
Pancho. Everybody knows who Pancho
Okay,
is.
so I know who Pancho is, right? And he's out there in he's out
Like
there
San Francisco, in the
Francisco,
Bay
in
somewhere.
the Bay Area, right?
Yeah.
And you guys would say he's the baddest painter right now, model
In
car.
model
painter?
cars, yeah, he's the painter.
No one like him, huh? He's the
like
man.
the Danny D. Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
He's like that.
yeah.
He's painting a lot of RCs now because but
If you've seen an RC with real paint, like some badass paint, yeah, it was probably
more
painted
than
like
likely
him.
he painted.
You think there's more money painting model cars and RC cars than lowriders now?
I mean, I think the turnaround time is faster.
Well, they say that, all painters say, man, I could paint a gas tank in a couple. I'll paint the fenders in a gas tank for just as much money as I could paint this lowrider. So I can imagine when you have to get to that small of detail and scale, because you guys had to measure out there. You had to go on that bridge and measure and figure out what the scale was on that mini truck compared to those arches from that bridge.
Yeah.
So, we all grow up, but we never grow out of it. From the pedal cars to the bikes, the model cars to the real cars, we're all kids. It just depends how expensive the toys are. They're all articulated. It doesn't matter what scale they are. Heck, right now I'm trying to get these guys and make some room in this place to see if we could keep some of the bridge here, but at least all the cars and have that on display. On consignment, if you guys will, you could switch out cars, your latest builds, come and dust them off for me. But I think it belongs in here because it's a part of me. It's a part of you. It's a part of all of us. It's part of our lowrider world, our culture, our custom artistic culture of lowriding. So never hold back on secrets. Share them. Throw some water on the damn thing so it can grow, everybody. Stop hating on each other. That's an easy way for you to win out there, but you know what? This is loser. And we're going to come back and get you anyways. These guys definitely will. I hope it never ends. Asking you guys that question there. I hope you keep on going because I get the satisfaction out of what you guys do. Makes me continue what I do. And it always will. Because I know what you guys are going through, man, and for what reason. And you're wearing the same uniform I'm wearing too, as everybody else out there. So
Thank you.
anything else to say? Anything else? Any other recognition to anybody out there?
Time.
We're good?
For me, yeah.
I have some, before you guys take off, I got some paperwork for you, some release forms to sign off.
It would
And
be
we'll
a-
just
it
move
would-
the table over here to a corner. We'll hang up your banner and we'll do that. Whatever it takes.
No, yeah, man.
Recognition and to keep this thing alive. And I think this show will do that. And if there is anything out there for any of us out here to help, I could relay the message to keep this alive. Let me know. I'd like to have your intake. We'll invite you back on the show again, where you can get in front of everybody and show your builds and what it actually takes. Right now, we're on all over the bridge. I can't believe everybody's getting along and it's almost been an hour.
No cops.
No cops.
That's the next. That's the next version. We're gonna try to.
You guys got to bring you guys
chopper.
got to bring in the chopper up there and hang it up there.
Oh, we already. It's it's in the
And we
works.
can hang it up there from the rafters. That's good, guys. I'm glad you came on. I appreciate all the hard work it was to put this thing together for everybody out here. Well, there you go. The Wired Down Show, 3 studios in 1. There's actually 4. There's a model car studio now. Got the garage behind us. The cantina's just down here. We might have a few drinks right now. And the Legends Lounge is just down the road over here. We'll be right back at you. We're going to get, since we talked about judging, probably our next show will be about judging everything out there. All about the judges, the ones with the little clipboards that walk around with their heads up high. That they passed the promoters as far as I'm concerned. Some of them act like they're bigger than the car builders. And we're going to break that down because I think I mentioned humble pie. We all need a little bit about it because we are all in this whole thing together. So look for that show to be coming up, everybody. Other than that, this is the Wired Down Model Car Show. I am Joe Ray, Spanks Victor, Finest Creations Model Car Club. Thanks for being our guest.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for having us.
There you go, everybody.